Hello YouTube, Daniel Lang here. Haven't done a video for such a long time, but usually if I do a YouTube video, it's something fun or something pointless and fun at the same time. But this one is quite serious. Thought that I discuss about it because it's also a problem besides this COVID bullshit. Uh, but it's about mental health. Myself, I always wanted to be a speaker about these kind of things and discuss about um, like all these things that matter in this world and what matter to me. And I think mental health is one of the things that matters to me because it's serious that something bad can happen. Well, anything bad can happen, but one thing I want to say is that um, mental health is a serious thing. It's no joking matter. It's not a laughing matter or whatever. Um, it's a serious thing. And if you send somebody off or like in a depressing, unusual, unhappy way, don't ignore it. Just regardless if you know the person or not. Just ask them if everything is okay or whatnot, or if because they could be depressed over about something that's like important to them in their life they don't want to be sad over or upset or whatever, because in this mental health mathematic way. Hey, sorry, there's somebody I know. Anyways, thought that I'd talk about this. As a mental health mathematic way, if there is a mathematic way to it, is that like for an example, bullying. If someone is bullying someone and it gets to them, they get depression. And depression can lead into not depression or to death. And what I mean by to death, I mean by suicide. Because this is probably going to make me go to tears, so please don't judge me if it does. But I had a friend. This friend, I talked to him every day, every morning at school when I went to high school, and his name was Beckett. Beckett, he was a smart guy. He knows a lot about computers, and he wanted to be a teacher one day. And April 28th, he passed away. And how he did it was he took a bunch of painkillers, and that's never good if you take a bunch of them because you can die, which actually happened to him. And one day, I have not found this out until the day of. I was walking around the school. It was third period. It was my lunch break, so I thought, hey, I still have time. I'll just walk around the school and yeah, I'll just do that. I come by near the cafeteria and I saw somebody crying. I was like, I wonder why he's crying. Yeah, probably something bad happened to him, but so I didn't really minded it. And then I come around the corner and I see a bunch of students at the foyer, at the lobby of the school. And I was like, should these students be in class or whatever. So I went up to one of my buddies. Well, I'm not his buddy. He's not really my buddy anymore, but I'm not going to name names. But I said, what's with all these students here? Should they be in class? He's like, yeah, but Becca's in the hospital. I asked him, oh, why is he in the hospital? He's like, I don't know, but they say he's not gonna make it. I was like, why? What happened? And he said he wasn't sure. So I saw another friend. Right. Well, then I just went and continued on my walk and like absorbing these facts that I just heard. So then a few minutes later I went back. I saw my friend Daniela. At least I think that, no, Danny, that's her name. Yeah, Danny, I think that's her name. Yeah, that's her name. And I said, any word about Beckett? She said he passed. And then I just went to complete silence. I was like, well, thanks for telling me. So while I was walking, I teared. I started crying, and my friend Stephanie saw me. She gave me a hug and went to guidance because that's where everybody was. And we were like all crying, and some of the students went home early because it was just too upsetting day to stay at school. And I got the option to go home, but you know, half the day is over. I might as well just stay. And I cried 30 minutes straight, the longest time I cried in my life. And Mr. Broadfoot came and comforted me because I wanted to talk to him. And about it, and he said he was one hell of a guy. And that's the first time I ever heard him say that word in a Catholic school, I may mention. Anyways, and went back. I was still crying. And Mr. Broadfoot told all of my classmates in my next period saying that Beckett has passed, and my friend Dylan knew why I wasn't there, because like usually I'm always on time for my classes, because I'm not like one of those students that like, hey, I go skip class because, you know, I don't really give a shit about this class or whatever. But me, I care because I don't want to get into trouble or anything, or get a call saying, dang, I missed period 1, 2, 3, and 4 or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, it was a tough day, and the school announced him passed, and next day there was an assembly for all grade 12s. I was in Victory Lab, so I was technically a grade 12 student, and boy did, oh boy, prom was coming up, and I was so disgusted what the students said. Like, the principal said that prom is canceled for this month and it will continue on the next month. All the students were like complaining, and then this one student, this one brave son of a bitch, stood up and yelled his head off. Like, literally yelled his head off, saying, we lost a fucking Spartan. Because that's what all the students were called, because that was our school logo. And all you give a flying fuck about is prom, like, I should have stood up as well. But I was, not brave enough, and I kind of felt bad that I didn't. But yeah, he was escorted out of the assembly by the security, and because of his behavior, which is understandable. He didn't. I prayed that he didn't get in trouble for doing that, because if he got in trouble, that would be complete BS on his end and my end. Because, like, yeah, and then after the assembly, I saw him there, like, calming himself down. I went up to him and said, "Dude, that was the bravest thing you ever done. Like, I wish I did that." It's like, well, these assholes need to realize that Beckett was, like, everybody knew Beckett. Like, literally everybody. The entire school knew Beckett. And yeah, it's like everybody knew Beckett, and all they give a fuck about is prom. Like, fuck, like, they feel sorry for his death, but yet they still talk about prom. And I was like, yeah, I know. Like, like, if this happened when I went to prom, when I had prom, and it was still going, I was like, I wouldn't go, because it wouldn't have been right. So, yeah, I guess there will have to be a part 2, but anyways, see you in part 2, because obviously I wasted all the time here talking about my friend Beckett, who is no longer with us. So, yeah.